Hi everyone, and welcome to this tutorial bite for Oxygen Not Included, which is a look at oil wells and oil reservoirs. These are fairly straightforward, but very useful as they produce large amounts of crude oil. Oil is turned into petroleum, which is most commonly used for power and also as rocket fuel. When oil is boiled, in either a petroleum or sour gas boiler, this makes a completely sustainable loop, and I will cover these builds in depth in their own tutorial bites. In this video, I'll quickly look at how oil wells work and how to set them up. The first thing to look at are the oil reservoirs, and these are natural features found on the map. They appear in oil biomes, which are usually at the bottom of the map, but may not be depending on the map type. Reservoirs can be exposed or buried, and they don't do anything by themselves. So this is where the oil well comes in. There is only one position that the well can be built in, and for materials, any refined metal can be used. Lead is a good choice, as the base overheat temperature for oil wells is 2000 degrees Celsius, and melting won't be an issue. Plus, lead is found in the oil biomes anyway, and is easy to dig in large amounts. The oil well needs a floor, and produces 3.33 kilograms per second of oil to the surroundings when supplied with 1 kilogram per second of water. Only normal water can be used, and other types will cause damage. As they produce oil to the surroundings, this leads to two potential designs, either with a mesh floor to process the oil below, or a solid floor with a submerged well. They do not flood, so can be fully submerged, and I would recommend submerging the well, as if not, the water inside can boil when venting, causing damage. And here is a typical design that I use to fully capture the wells, so let's look at the key points. Firstly, I need to point out that Atmo suits are required due to the temperatures and gases involved. I've shown them nearby here, but they can be used with a core base design, and for more information on exosuits, check out the tutorial bite. There is also a STEPS liquid lock with a vacuum seal to keep the gas and heat isolated. Next up on plumbing, there is a water input line with insulated pipes that feed the oil well. To recover the oil, there is a liquid pump connected to a hydro sensor to prevent the oil level getting too low. This can be set to above any number less than 870 kilograms, and I usually go for around 100 kilograms. I also use a second hydro sensor to disable the well if the level is getting too high. This needs to be set to below a certain level, and I usually use around 300 kilograms. The last bit of the design to explain then is the gas management and venting the wells. As the well produces oil, it also makes natural gas, which can be seen on the gauge. If this gets full, then the well will stop, so it needs to be periodically vented by a tube. When it is vented, the natural gas is output to the environment, which is why the liquid lock is useful. The natural gas cannot overpressure and will effectively make an infinite gas storage room. To use the gas, there is a pump included with an Atmo sensor to ensure no small packets are pumped. For settings, I typically use above 1500 grams. And that is all of the key parts. I'm showing here a one-take reference that you can use to replicate this in your own colonies. So the last thing to cover is on combining oil lines. As I explained earlier, each well produces 3.33 kilograms per second of oil, which is a third of a liquid pipe. Therefore, 3 of these need to be joined together to make a complete 10 kilograms per second pipe flow. On a real map, these will be significantly more spread out, but the idea is the same. Beware though, that because venting temporarily stops oil production, there will be small dips in the flow. To account for this, you can add a fourth, but 3 will generally be fine. And that's everything to know about oil wells and oil reservoirs in Oxygen Not Included. I hope this is helpful, and thanks for watching.